modify horror present. Mapaka receives the inheritance of Pesugihan's black science. In a remote village in the interior of Java, legends about the black magic of Pesugihan have been circulating for centuries. It is said that this knowledge provides abundant wealth to anyone who is willing to sacrifice the things most valuable to them. However, no one knows what the true price must be paid to obtain that wealth. In an old house located on the outskirts of the village, lived an old man named Kijoko. Kijoko is known as a shaman who has the most powerful black magic in the entire region. However, few people know that Kijoko's wealth is not the result of black magic, but rather from his perseverance in working hard and his wisdom in managing his family's inheritance. One day, Kijoko suddenly died without leaving any descendants. News of Kijoko's death soon spread throughout the village, and rumors about his inheritance and black magic became a hot topic of conversation among the villagers. Many people tried to approach Kijoko's house to find out the truth behind it all. One of them was a young man named Andy. Andy is a smart but ambitious young man. He always felt that his life had not been successful enough, and when he heard the news about Kijoko's death, he saw a golden opportunity to change his fate. Without thinking, Andy decided to investigate further about Kijoko's legacy. Andy entered Kijoko's house carefully, feeling like there was a mysterious aura surrounding the place. He explored every room, looking for clues about the whereabouts of inherited treasures and black magic. However, the longer he was in the house, the more strange and tense it became to haunt him. When Andy entered the last room he had not yet examined, he found an ancient book hidden behind a wooden shelf. The book looked very old and dusty, with a worn leather cover. Without hesitation, Andy opened the book and started reading. However, at that moment the atmosphere around him changed. The lights in the house suddenly turned off, leaving Andy in complete darkness. He felt as if something was watching him, and fear began to creep up on him. However, his great curiosity made him continue reading the book. Every page of the book was filled with strange writings in an ancient language that was difficult to understand. However, Andy felt as if there was a supernatural force forcing him to continue reading. Little does he realize that with every page he reads, he becomes more and more entangled in the dark game that has long been locked inside the house. When Andy reached the last page of the book, suddenly a magical voice filled the room. The sound sounded like a scary rustling wind, and Andy felt as if an evil spirit was attacking him. Without thinking, he tried to escape from the house, but the doors and windows were locked tightly, trapping him in eerie darkness. Andy shouted for help, but no one heard his screams. He felt like he was trapped in a never-ending nightmare. In the midst of that darkness, he felt the presence of something invisible, something far stronger and more evil than his mind could imagine. Several hours passed as if in the blink of an eye, but for Andy, time seemed to pass so slowly. He kept trying to find a way out, but the more he tried, the more it felt like the dark power was getting the better of him. He felt like he was being sucked into an endless abyss of darkness, and despair began to creep up on him. Suddenly, in the deep darkness, Andy saw a scary shadowy figure. The figure looked like Kijoko, but his face was filled with uncontrollable hatred and darkness. Andy felt like he was hypnotized by the figure, and he knew that he had to fight if he wanted to survive. With the remaining courage, Andy gathered all his energy and shouted Kijoko's name. He tried to recall everything he read in that ancient book, looking for answers to all the questions that haunted him. And suddenly, a bright light appeared in the room, dispelling the frightening darkness. Andy realized that true strength does not come from black magic or witchcraft, but from courage and honesty of heart. He decided to end the curse that had haunted the house for years, and with the last bit of strength he had, he managed to escape from the place. When Andy left Kijoko's house, he felt like he had a new chance in life. He knows that no matter what happened, he would never forget the horrific experience he had in that house. And although black magic may offer temporary riches, the price to be paid is very high. From that incident, Andy learned that true wealth is not something that can be bought with money, but rather with kindness and loyalty to true values. And although disaster may haunt his every step, he knows that as long as he sticks to the truth, he will always find a way out of that darkness.